Well, good morning to you. Welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. How y'all this morning? Doing pretty good around Baton Rouge, seems like. Just getting the old goatee trimmed up here real quick. Alright. Nothing to it. So what's going on in your part of the world this morning? Hope everything's going alright wherever you are. Sunday morning before church shave. Cup of black Cafe Bustelo. Not bad at all. So today I'm going to use the Clubman Pinaud shave soap, which doesn't smell like Clubman. I'll tell you that from the start. It's a more of a cologne-y, sweeter smell. It's not a Clubman smell, which I don't understand. But anyway, I don't have to understand. We are, however, going to finish up with the Clubman aftershave that I put into a pretty little flask bottle for some reason. And for a razor today, we're going to use this, which is a very, very nice looking, in my opinion. This is an Ever Ready. They made them 1912, 1914, so I call it a 1913-ish. Just what I've always done. It's got the little short metal handle, and the neat thing about this one, you get it out here, is that it still has the strop-in attachment in the handle. Pull it out, screw it onto the handle head, and you can strop your blades, and then it stows away back into the handle. So anyway, this one's still in pretty good shape. It's everything looks good. Now I put a new blade in it a little while ago, a new Treet, as a matter of fact. One of these Treet blade in the 5-pack. I like them. I used to find those local. I haven't been back to the little store lately to see if they're still stocking them. I may do that today. If not today, I'll definitely get around to it. So as always with these older razors, be sure that you check and make sure that the blades within the stops and everything's nice and tight. When you put a new blade in, it could shave you some scratches. Don't ask me how I know. I'd lie to you. And for a brush today, we've got our little, right off here real quick, our little fuller brush that's got the AOS Badger re-knot in it. When I needed a new knot for this brush, I noticed that I had a little AOS Badger with the kind of cheap plastic handle, and I noticed, hey, that looks like that would fit, and it did really well. And what's neat about this fuller brush is that it comes with its own stand, all nice and built in. You can set it down, and it's got a nice little stand that goes with it, little matching stuff here. I've always liked that. I've had a couple of these over the years. I think I've had one more of these, and I don't know what happened to it. It was a yellow one. I really liked it, but I don't know what happened to it. So anyway, let that soak. So that's going to be today's adventure in Shavy Land. Going to be a Pinaud morning, which is fine with me. Any morning is a good morning for a Pinaud morning, right? Now, like I said, I don't understand personally why you have a product that's named the same, Clubman, green, green, yellows, and they smell so much different. I don't know, but they certainly do. Now, the upside of it is that it's not a bad soap. I like the soap. It does a good job. It's got a lot of different ingredients in it, and I know some people knock the chemical ingredients, whatever, but all of the modern soaps. I compare this soap to the Wilkerson Sword in the blue little UFO looking stuff. It's a different scent, but the soap looks the same and it lathers the same. It's big ingredient list and that kind of stuff. So I've been telling folks that ask that if you have shaved with that Wilkerson Sword and you like it, then this to me feels like a very similar product. I don't have any problems loading the brush in a little container. Obviously you don't bloom it. Bloom something, go plant your flowers. And if it's cold where you are, plant your flowers inside. You can still bloom. By golly. Blooming soaps. My blooming toe. But anyway, so we'll get some soap on the brush here. And then we're going to face lather because you know it's Sunday and face lathering is what God intended. Might not know that. Thought I'd help you out with that. But anyway, before we get soap on, you can see we've got a decent little growth. A couple of days here. I did shave Friday, even though I was off work. I didn't shave yesterday while I was off work. I'm going to shave the day before church. Alright. And this will be close on the time I'll shave tomorrow for work, so I'll have a full day's growth by the time I shave tomorrow, which is good. So I've noticed that one of the things when you're trying to determine how good a particular razor is a shaver for you. Now, the truth of the matter is, as I say often, razor's a razor, blade's a blade. As long as you're not dealing with damaged equipment, you can get the shave. But that doesn't mean that you don't have favorites. I do. Everybody has favorites, so that's great. So, but one way is to see how a razor performs for you is what I call the daily shave test. It's easier, seems like, to get a good shave on 2 or 3 days or even 4 days of growth, something like that, longer growth, than it is to get one on a day's growth, everyday shaving. It's just always seemed to me that it's easier. So when you find a razor that your skill level equals so that you get good everyday shaves out of it, it's a good razor for you, right? It's the way I've always thought about it. Now I can't think of anything that I shave with that doesn't really give good shaves on everyday shaves. I attribute that to a lot of practice, skill level. But I've always felt that way, that it's easier to see, that it's easier to get a good shave on longer growth, on wait a few days to shave, how many ever, and you get a nicer, closer, easier shave. Of course, it's all technique. But so anyway, I'll get a full day's growth for tomorrow. These little lather catchers are just so much fun to use. And this is Ever Ready. The 1913-ish is a particular favorite. I gave one of these to a good shave friend of mine, and he fell in love with it. And these things have some sound to them. Lets you know they're doing their work. I think that great. I know some people don't like the sound, but to me, hearing a razor work just lets you know it's doing what it's supposed to, and that's just outstanding. You hear, that sounds just blade chatter, and if the blade was held better, and blah, 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 blah. I don't want the blade held better. I want it doing exactly what it's doing, because when it's doing exactly what it's doing, old Fuzzy is getting an extremely good shave out of it. I can't imagine. I mean, really, once you get to where it's pretty much the best, where do you go from there? It's all lateral. And whether it's blade chatter or what it is, and the blade's not held good because it's stuck out there on the end, and yada, 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 whatever. I am okay with it. By golly. Yes, I'm using my Williams mug, and I'm not using Williams. I think it's okay. I don't think Jamie will mind. Alright. Well, that bears some explanation, doesn't it? Who's Jamie? Jamie is the Uber shaver that made that cup, or had that cup made for me. As I remember the story, he had a couple made so he'd have a backup, and I expressed some interest in having one, And he being the outstanding individual he is, hooked me up with a Williams mug. Thought that was pretty nice. Alright. Boy, tell you what, I love the shaves from these old lather catchers. And some people will say, well, that short handle, don't matter. Short handle, long handle, I haven't seen where it matters. I don't have huge hands, but I don't have baby hands. And I haven't seen yet, y'all didn't see that, I didn't put the razor up backwards. I would never do anything like that, not me. Not when I'm sitting here running my mouth. But I have never seen where handle length was that big a deal on a razor. I've got razors with longer handles, I've got razors with shorter handles, I've got razors that, you know, some of my lather catchers I didn't have handles, so I'm using JR handles on them. And some of those are longer, some of those are shorter. Never seen where it matters. That's where technique comes in. Your technique adjusts for that kind of stuff. You do it without even thinking. Now, does that mean you can't have favorites, longer handles and shorter handles? No, it doesn't mean it at all. Does that mean it doesn't change the shave some? Nope, doesn't mean that at all. However, I wouldn't say that it makes for a better shave or a worse shave because the handle's longer or shorter. That's all I'm saying. Technique. Over at the Shave Den, those folks over there, there's a place called the 30-Day Crew. And they're really good for people getting started. Well, it's not just people getting started, but anyway, they're good on people getting started. But anyway, they have the thing that you come in and you pick a soap, pick a razor, yada yada yada, and just use that setup so that you learn to shave. It's amazing once you learn to shave and you build technique. But the whole point of that story was to get around to this one saying. Someone over there, and I'm not sure who, came up with a saying that says that technique trumps tools. And it's a true saying. If you have good technique, you can adjust to different tools. Right down to gluing a blade on a stick and shaving with it. Yes, I've done that. Check the video history, you'll see it. So I got a question about the bottle here the other day. Hold on one second. Talking too much about the bottle. And so we'll go through it again. This is witch hazel. This is Dickerson in this bottle, but generally I just have whatever the generic store brand is. This is what the store had where I went. I think it was in Albertsons I got this from. But anyway, I use it for my touch-up pass. It's slick. It makes my face feel good. I think it makes the whiskers stand up better where you can feel them better. And seeing as how our touch-ups generally turn into, you know, just another pass anyway. It's got plenty of protection. If you happen to have a little razor burn somewhere, I think it helps with that. And all around, I just think it's a real good. I've been using it for my touch-up shave for a long, long time. I don't remember if that's something I kind of stumbled on, or if it was something I picked up from somebody, or what. It's been too long. I don't remember. Alright, so what we ended up with there and all that talking was a very high class shave from a very classy razor. New Treet blade. We'll get everything dried off. This is a carbon steel blade. So remember, with the carbon steel blades, if you don't dry them off after you're using them, you're going to have rust problems. And I know people holler, well, I don't like doing it, I don't want to do it, it's so much work. And it's like, no, it's not really. It's just part of your routine. So before I even clean up from the shave, I'll show you. So we take the blade out. In this case, you pop the little knob down in the back. And you got your old blade. And you rinse it off. And I'll bring the towel over here. It's got a nice heavy spine. What I do is I hold it with one end and then I dry the blade. And then it's done. You can either dry the razor off and put it back in the razor. But more often than not, mine goes back up on top of my little shave cabinet up here, because I use different razors, so I don't normally leave blades in razors. They get moved from razor to razor. So you get the razor dried off and everything's good to go. So there we go. That's how Fuzzy does it. By golly. We'll get the roots off here with the witch hazel. And get a little dry off going after that before we put our, I don't know, I'm a little strange. I rinse and dry my face before I put the witch hazel on because I don't want the witch hazel watered down any. And then I do the same thing before I put the aftershave on because I don't want the aftershave watered down any. Don't know if it matters. Don't have a clue, but that's what we do. So we get very, very, very little sparkle, very little tingle from the alcohol in our clubbing, which is, you know, a great thing. I like it. Means we got a good shave. We can see we got a good close shave. I can feel it, and you know what we call a damn fine shave because around here in the Fuzzy den, we don't shoot for BBS. Too much chance of irritation in a couple hours. It's back feeling like sandpaper anyway, so I just don't see the point. Maybe you don't either. So there we go. So we're going to blast off and finish getting ready for Sunday. Swing by and pick up a young friend of mine. And I'm going to pick my cub up and take him to church this morning. He's with me. Be a good time. So y'all have a great day. Hope everything goes good. Hope nobody had a heart attack watching the LSU Texas A&M game last night. That was pretty good. So anyhow, we'll see you later. Y'all have happy shaves. Thank you.